3,760 pounds. This is the Winnebago 2100 Bunkhouse here at Haylett RV of Coldwater, Michigan. This is the Mama Bear to the Baby Bear 1700 BH Winnebago and the Papa Bear 2306 BHS with a bigger bathroom and walk-around Murphy bed. This one is the one that fits right in between, and it really hits a sweet spot of being a narrow-body tandem axle bunkhouse with a slide-out, no carpet, yet falls under that 4,000 pound mark, so it works where a lot of other trailers might be a little bit too big for a tow vehicle. It's basically the exact same floor plan as a 193 BHS Coachman Apex, but just on a tandem axle platform. So, you know, there's a whole lot of different shades of gray, which, ironically, we're looking at a gray-skinned Winnebago, which, remember, the one that we're looking at could be drastically different from the one that we have in stock, at least in terms of cosmetics. With the slide closed on the 2100 Winnebago, you can still basically get through it. You don't need the slide, it just makes the camper so much better. If you need to, you can still get through here. You can get to the bathroom, you can get to the bunks, you can get to the fridge, all the storage. It is 100% travel functional and accessible. Also very handy if you have this parked at a storage location, need to try to get into it for any reason. The slide out plus the lighter color interior that we're looking at here, it helps make this little camper look and feel not so little. But do remember that, you know, things like the interior decor that we're looking at could be different on the RV that we have in stock. Now, an important little thing I want to zero in on here is the fact that, first of all, there are no heat vents in the flooring. Additionally, this is completely carpetless even within the dinette area. And that's a spot where a lot of manufacturers seem to miss, is they'll go ahead and put carpet under a dinette. There are, depending on the slide out, there's reasons why some brands have to do it, but Winnebago's using a slide system here that allows them to be carpetless. Now you can see you've got a big window there overlooking the dining table, but you're going to find big windows throughout the RV. That's one of the things that this does very nicely. You also have not just a huge window at the foot side of the bed, but a full window in the entry door, although that window does have its own shade in the entry door, so it's not like you're going to lose privacy. Speaking of privacy, you also do have that little pull-across curtain there, so if you do want to privatize that front bed, you do have the ability to do so. Now, this is a little RV, but they do a really good job of utilizing. I like that one. It's a new nerdism, utilizing. They do a very good job of taking advantage of any ounce of storage space they possibly could. Beginning with the storage below the dinette seating over here. So that's one of the nice things about these Winnebagos, is that they really are very good at making sure that not an ounce of space goes to waste. And something you're not seeing right now is to access the storage that I've opened up here, it actually has plywood under the dinette cushion. So they have a 3/8 plywood decking even under the dinette areas. And that's one of the areas where you can see that this is more of a premium trailer. It's a material premium trailer. If you're looking for like the last RV you ever want to own or something that's going to last 10 plus years, this is easily on the short list. So it starts with, you've got the pressed membrane sealed edge countertops, whether it's on the dining table, the kitchen, anywhere that you have a countertop, it's going to have that material. Now, even things like your slide fascia, they're a better wood, not a fiberboard foam or anything like that, or fiberboard or foam, as it were, because that's two different things. So full storage above the bed, and there is, you can also lift the bed to get to the storage below, although we will see that when we go outside. Now, over here, I want to point out the fact that they do not sink back this overhead cabinet. It's a full-depth overhead cabinet. It's the same depth as the microwave. And having full-size stuff in a small camper kitchen is one of those things that Winnebago does very well. Case in point, you might notice that they have a full 6 cubic foot fridge freezer, as opposed to the little truck camper fridge freezer you may often find in smaller RVs. Note, too, that we have full double sink, stainless at that, with covers and a stove cover, and side and back splashes for the stove. Not just the backsplash, but both. Now, the stovetop, the sink, those are helping with their countertop space, but that's part of the reason that they have the countertop extension here too. Now, that TV can pivot out to be able to face the bed, the bunks, the dinette, so it's kind of one TV to rule them all, if you will. And down here, of course, storage below the sink, but a pair of plywood full extension drawers as well. So, once again, they're using every ounce of space everywhere they possibly could, in any way that they possibly could find something to do useful and functional with it. But of course, the dinette's useful for more than just storage. You can also fold the cushions down and get yourself a bonus sleeper right there. And this is where that sliding privacy curtain is kind of nice. If you have somebody sleeping right next to you, it's nice to have just kind of that little divider there. And of course, we still have that big window there for either airflow if you are boondocking. Nice to have that fresh air. But of course, there's the night privacy shade if you want to pull that shut and keep the light out of your eyes. If you're trying to take a midday nap, or if you're at that summertime where it's sunny a little bit later, you know. Sometimes, I don't know, around here it can stay sunny till almost 10 o'clock at night. Having that shade there is pretty darn handy if you're going to sleep someone on the dinette. But most of the time, this is probably how she's going to be arranged. Now, one key difference here between the 2100 and the 1700 BH, because if you look at them, they're pretty much the same floor plan. This one just has a sliding dinette and tandem axle. Well, the big difference here, guys, is that this is a 4-person dinette versus a 2-person dinette in the 1700. When the slide opens up, it does give you a little bit more floor space. It does open things up a little bit more that way, but it allows the whole family to gather around the table at the same time. And I think that's a really key difference for someone looking to have a real, like, comfortable family dining experience. Now, little trailer still has centralized air conditioning, and you might notice it's actually double ducted to give you some crazy good airflow in here. Also, not only that, but we will typically, even on a small camper like this, not 100% of the time, but typically, have these in stock with a larger 15,000 BTU air conditioner. And that is, to a lot of people, it's like, what are you talking about, man? That's crazy overkill on a little trailer like this. One, doing it from the factory is so dirt cheap compared to doing it aftermarket, it's not even funny. But two, some of these Winnebagos have darker skin packages. Like on a white skin Winnebago, we might not do it. But on one of these darker skin Winnebagos, like the one that we're in, it could pick up some extra sun. Maybe not enough to make a difference, but I can guarantee you, you will never regret having a bigger air conditioner. I can't guarantee you that you won't regret not having a bigger air conditioner. So that's one of those things you just kind of got to keep in mind here. Now, you know, for the primary kid sleeping, we've got a pair of individual single bunks that are 250-pound rated. So chances are, if you can fit somebody in these things, they're going to be fine. You know, that's not going to be an issue. Plus, you do have cargo storage access under that lower bunk, in addition to the fact that the lower bunk flips up out of the way to become like a cargo garage that we'll see outside. Decent floor space here in the bathroom. Once again, no floor vents. And you've got an kind of an easy step-in shower as opposed to the, you know, the big travel trailer tub that I think has really kind of run its course in most of RV production. You also notice that we have a sliding shower door, not just a cheap curtain here with that radius bar, so it gives you a little bit extra elbow room where you really want and need it. Great for a bigger person like me. Back outside here, I think one of the first things to talk about is that it's important to remember that this one we're looking at has a platinum skin. The one that we have in stock might not. It might be white, champagne, red, blue, never know. So this is an example of one RV that we have or have had in stock, not necessarily the exact RV we do have in stock. And the longer this footage ages, the more likely that is the case, that it could be different from the one that we have currently. Now, note the fact, again, max size awning on this, and that huge bedroom window is part of the reason why. If they extended the awning any further, you'd lose a lot of the bedroom space there. I don't think anybody wants that happening. Now, the Micro Mini series is a narrow body, a 7-foot wide body. So that means reduced headwinds because it's not wider than your vehicle as compared to a standard 8-foot wide conventional travel trailer. It means, of course, lighter weight. And these things being lighter weight allow them to run on a smaller chassis, which helps the overhead clearance of the RV. So it's kind of a cascade effect of things that keep this small, light, and narrow body tandem axle travel trailers. There are not many manufacturers who build something with those qualities. The Coachman Apex is another one that does a very good job of it. And once you know it, we carry them here at Haylett RV too. You know, it's awesome towability in a smaller camper. Now, power awning, power tongue jack, those you can see, but what you can't see is the fact that they're using higher grade motors on these things, and it makes it, you know, easier to set up camp. They move faster, last longer. Now, another thing you're not really seeing is the fact that this has more of an aircraft style chassis. It's a Z frame made with higher grade steel. And what that means in English, guys, is that it's lighter but stronger, not less expensive. Very few things about this Winnebago are the less expensive option. Like this fiberglass skin that we're looking at, this Diesel Pusher T60 gel coat with this virtual mirror-like reflectivity. You know, this is something right here that a lot of RVs, well, really, in this segment, no other RV I've really seen is using anything like that. Now, you've got compression latches and magnet holdbacks on your baggage doors, so getting in and out of that is easy. They do have a protected piano hinge to keep the weather out, and you also have a simple little side solar prep right there. If you do choose to grab a little portable panel, especially a small camper like this, it's very easy to park this thing in the shade, assuming there is some shade around, and then be able to kind of, quote, chase the sun with a panel, if you will. Now, back here, you've got a really smart centralized docking station next to this bunkhouse cargo door. And it can kind of be whatever you want. Now, what's nice is that mini door right there is just a smaller version of your main entry door. So it does have its own deadbolt for privacy, for security, to keep your cargo in place, things like that. Also, of course, to keep your, kids in place at night. So right now we've got her in bunkhouse sleeper mode. But what's kind of cool is all you have to do is lift this up. There's a little bullet latch over here that'll keep it in place. And then you notice you've got this very large cargo garage in here, and you do have that pass-through into the interior space if you're so inclined. Now I'm looking at pocket screws in here, which kind of reminds me of something that I did not mention inside, is that our cabinetry has hardwood cabinet doors, and it is all pocket screwed cabinet style. So it's stuff that's designed to last a long time, which is part of the reason that this has a all aluminum skeleton. It's great for longevity, and it's great to keep the weight down. Now this has a roof to get to the ladder. It's been a long day, and I have said a lot of words on these videos. It has a ladder to get to the roof because this little guy right here has a fully walkable roof, which is something I can't say about every lightweight in the industry. They put the biggest awning on this one they really possibly could, and they dressed it up very nicely. One of the things with that exceptionally high gloss skin these Winnebagos have is the LED lighting under the awning gains kind of like a dual reflectivity. So you're really kind of doubling up on the lighting that it's going to give you, sort of like a mirror effect in a way. Now, the gas strut in these awning arms, that's an auto rain dump, for those not aware. It's something we don't talk about a lot in the business anymore, but I think it's important that first-time campers know about it. Basically, this awning is on an angle. It will spill water off, but it's flat-ish. If it's raining like the dickens, it'll like the weight will compress one of those arms, spill the water off, and then it'll bring itself right back up on its own. Or what you can do is you can pull in on this arm, lock it down, and keep it on a manual tilt anytime you want. Now, it seems odd sometimes that we have a black tank flush right here on the door side of the RV, but remember where the bathroom is located. It's back in this corner, so that's the most direct route to the black tank for the most effective black tank flush, so it's actually really smart. Outside TV hookups, if you want, you can go ahead and screw like a mount into the side of the trailer. That being said, very few people I ever see really do something like that. The aluminum wheels on here look pretty darn sharp, and what's nice is if you take a knee and take a peek, you can see a full galvanized shield above that, so that God forbid one of your tandem tires here has a flat or a blowout or whatever, you've got a little bit of protection there before it causes any significant damage. Now, as short as this camper is, they could have probably done a single step, but this RV is not built with minimalism in mind. It's built with excellent execution and function first, and that's why they put the double step here, as well as the bigger entry handle. And note the location of the awning next to the door. It's really important that you have one of these anti-slam doors right here so that the awning doesn't get smashed sideways, because that's a good way to screw it up. Plus, we got the little screenshot auto-close screen door band right there. Closed, darn you. Sometimes those things, man. Now, again, huge windows up in the bed area to give you lots of light and airflow. But another thing, a lot of people, they like a walk-around bed because it does give you that easier use inside, but it does mean also a longer, heavier, more expensive RV. One of the cool benefits of an east-west bed is this. You have monster storage below this thing. Now, to give you an idea, that box right there, that's the dual propane tanks, the tray, the regulator, like all of it. All, dwarfed by the size of this huge storage compartment here. And you've got an easy reach battery disconnect switch right there, so that when this thing's in storage, it's not trickle drawing off the battery and causing you problems. Mr. Jody here doing some surface level inspection for us because we quality inspect everything before you take it home at Haylett RV. And then we pull it in the shop and do a full burn on all the appliances and everything as well to make sure that, you know, your first camping trip is positive and not filled with surprises. Now, we don't charge you extra for stuff like that. We don't do hidden fees at Haylett RV. So whether it's hitching, pieces, parts, trades, finance, truck and trailer package deals, inspections, RV delivery, and everything in between, we do it all at Haylett RV. So take care, stay safe, have fun, and happy camping, everyone.